Hey, so what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about 3 things that I think is important that we teach our kids. Now this is a post I actually did on my Instagram, and I thought it'd be cool to make a video about it to kind of talk about it a little bit more. So the first thing is real life. Why do I think it's important for us to talk to our kids about real life? The reason is because we know how it feels when we grow up and we realize that things aren't like we thought it was. Like the example I gave on my Instagram was like, imagine you ordering something from a menu because you know what it is, right? And then you get it and it's something totally different. Many of us have experienced that and growing up thinking that the world or, where we are is going to be a certain way. Things are going to work out in a certain, this way this is how it's going to happen. And then it doesn't, only for us to find out that that's just how it's always been. And it never was the way we thought it was. So it's important for us to be honest with our kids, because a lot of times what we do is we may be teaching them things that we already know don't work. We may be teaching them things that we're currently frustrated with in life now, but yet we won't warn them about it. We'll just tell them to go down that same path. There's a quote that says, kids can learn anything. All they do is just lack someone to teach them. So it's important for us to teach our kids what's coming ahead, things that they're not prepared for, things that they don't understand. We have to help them learn how to live in a world that they've just never seen. And so a lot of times our kids watch us, they learn through us, and then yes, they learn through school also. As parents, yes, we may send our kids to school, but we have to understand that it's not the school's job to totally prepare our kids for life. It's our job. And I'm just speaking from a personal experience. That's how I like to approach teaching things with my kids. I like to teach them about real life. I don't want them to grow up thinking that things are going to be a certain way and it's not. The better they're prepared, the better they have understanding of how things work in this world and how things are working, then when they get older, they'll have a better chance than I did to face things at a certain rate. So do your kids the justice of teaching them about real life. Teach them about what's working right now and teach them about what's not working. Don't just allow them to grow up thinking that the same track that we all went through, you grow up, you go to school, you get a good job, you have a white picket fence, knowing that there's a lot more to it than just doing that. So my next one is teaching them about business. Now, it doesn't mean that your kids may be a super entrepreneur or a big business woman or big business man. It just means that it's nice for them to understand how to have options. So we see in this time now where people are fighting for, higher minimum wages, and they're looking for a raise after raise, and you get a 5 or 10% raise after a year. Let's be real. That's not enough to suffice or to cover the things that we need, help with financially. There's nothing wrong with working a job. If that's what you're going to do, then that's what you do. If that's what your kids choose to do, then that's what they choose to do. However, they should not be limited. There's nothing wrong with working your job and still having other ways to make money on the outside. I'm a big believer in having more than one way to make money. And a lot of times, the way we can make money is right in our hands. It can be things that we're really passionate about. It can be things that we're really good at, we're really gifted, really talented in. It could be ideas that we have. It's important that we teach our kids that it's okay to have something else, just so that way you don't find yourself in a position that if your job lets you go, or if you're working a job and is not paying the type of money you want. For example, if you're working a job like as a social worker, but you really like what you do, you don't make enough money. However, that doesn't have to dictate to you your lifestyle if you have other ways of making money. So if you teach them to not limit themselves and to learn how to harness and take control of the gifts and the talents that they have to use it in order to make money, then they won't be limited when they grow up. So if they face a situation or something hard financially, they'll be prepared, or they'll be able to get through that storm because they're not just depending on one source of income. And also, it's just nothing wrong with living good. There's nothing wrong with not having to worry about, how much money you make and going to school for the purpose of, I want to go to school to be, be this, or I want to be that because they make good money. That's not good. And what happens is a lot of times people get in those positions and they get in these jobs and they get in these careers where they're making the money, but they're just not happy. Well, in life, you want to be able to fulfill yourself or have some type of fulfillment. And one of the things that definitely brings you fulfillment is when you're working or creating and doing stuff that you really are passionate about. And there's nothing wrong with those things. having a paycheck attached to them. And so we live in a day now where you can do that. I know back in the past, and back in the days before internet and stuff like that, you maybe couldn't necessarily get paid for your passion like that. But now we live in a day where it doesn't matter what it is that you're interested in, what you're passionate for or passionate about. There's a way for you to make money from that. And I believe in teaching our kids that it's important for them to have those aspects. My kids, if they want to go to school, fine. I'm not necessarily teaching them that they have to go to college. That's not how I'm teaching them. I'm teaching them about, going after things that they're really passionate about, things they really want to do. If they want to go to college, they can go to college. But however, it has to be towards something that they really want to make a difference in and not just working another job. Because the truth is, whether you go to college or not, it doesn't dictate your success. Sorry, that's just the way it is. So teaching your kids how to have other avenues of making money is highly important, especially moving forward. The last one is money. Obviously, money, right? So let's say that you teach them about real life. You teach them about having, other businesses or having other ways to make money, whether it's just through investments or real estate, whatever it is. And then guess what? They need to learn how to take care of that money. There's nothing wrong with making a lot of money, but I can tell you there's definitely something wrong when you don't know how to take care of it. So if you teach your kids how to take care of the money that they have, and teach them how to invest, then guess what happens? Then they won't experience lack the way you may have experienced lack, or they just won't experience lack at all. I believe just as the same way that we teach our kids about ABCs and they got to learn about all this stuff in school and history and all this, I believe they should learn about taking care of their money. Whether the schools teach it or not, I believe as a parent, it's important that we do that. Now, you might not be someone that is very financially savvy yourself. You might be struggling, but guess what? You can still use those things to teach your kids to say, hey, don't do what I did. I'm trying to get better. I'm struggling, but this is exactly what happened. This is how these things work. You want to do better with your money. You want to do this. That's something that my mom actually did. She always taught us, hey, I want you to do better than what I did. And she always would talk to us about different things that she's never had access to or didn't know how to do, especially like investing. So even though you might not be in a space or in a place where you're doing the best financially, you still can teach your kids and you can learn with them also. That can actually be something to help you get to another level financially. It's not just looking at it from the standpoint of you doing good, but hey, I'm teaching my kids these principles too. And just understand it's a process. But teaching your kids about money is essential, because guess what? After all the schooling, after all the training or whatever they choose to do, after everything is said and done, the biggest thing that they're going to be worried about is money. Because if you live in America, guess what? It's a money-oriented, money-driven, power-driven society. And guess what? You need money to survive. That's probably the biggest concern of graduating college students is money. How am I going to survive? What I'm supposed to do? Will I get a job to make good money? So listen, just teach your kids about money. Teach them that they can succeed with whatever it is they're making, and they can do the right things, and it can cause them to have a great financial future, and they can teach their kids how to do the same thing. So hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video. I definitely appreciate it. Comment your thoughts, comment any things that you think will also be very powerful or very good to teach kids also growing up below. So see you guys in the next video. Peace out.